location issue. The site actually now currently has a York score of 85. So it's really high.
NATO is sort of a divider between our site and the North Pearl, or the North River District, North Pearl. And most of my work has been focused in higher education, working with large stakeholder groups and students and faculty and all kinds of things on very complex projects. And so this one is a natural for me because of that, because this is such a complex group. There's 11 buildings on this site, 12 if you include the MPU. And I've been working for 20 years plus. These buildings are by far in the worst condition I've ever seen of a building that I've worked on. So this is a big challenge.
We were really delighted to have the University of Oregon Architectural Studio to participate with us. And frankly, we learned a lot from the students taking this on, looking at it fresh, looking at it with their own perspective. We had some upfront conversations, but really only one or two, with the leading professor of the group, and who was great to work with as well. But we really didn't want to create too many expectations. We wanted to be delighted and surprised, and we were. We did want to inform the class about what we knew about the site, its conditions, its physical conditions.
The site itself has had several names. Crown Mill, Crown Flour bought this at one point, but the historic name is Centennial. So the site history is really interesting too. So this is from 1928. This is kind of what the wharf looked like in the good old days. 1929, a big change happened, the seawall happened. You can see how it really radically changed the nature of the riverbank. 1935, here's our site. You can see that there's a lot more development, there's more railroads. And then here's our site in 1960, fully developed with, in kind of the heyday of rail and production, lots of mills and all kinds of stuff going on in here. And here's what it looks like today.
I think all of the student teams struggled, first of all, with how complex this site is. It's not huge, it's 4.5 acres. On the other hand, the condition of buildings, the conditions of the wharf, the desire to get access to the water through the site, the presence of both the railroad and NATO Parkway, which are both in some ways barriers to the rest of the neighborhood. I think all of the groups struggled with how to overcome those kinds of obstacles and really express the integral nature of the site itself. But we found some really compelling notions about how to express the history, how to express sustainability, how to get people to the water, how to sort of find that right mix between sort of a place-making identity and some actual uses that could help pay for the restoration work. So their teams came up with some really compelling ideas that I think in some ways will find their way into our ultimate design solution. They all seem to revolve around some central themes, including getting people down to the water, getting people's toes in the water, creating kind of a there with a sort of almost a village landscape within the site, really looking hard at the visual and literal pedestrian connections from the rest of the city to this place, and really finding some unique architectural expressions that would kind of put it on people's mental map as, that's a place to see here in town, or as a visitor, here's a great place to go and visit when coming to Portland. So we were really very, very pleased with the students' work.